The Joe Rogan Experience.
There's something to that. And there's something, again, from me, a guy who, for 40 plus years of my life didn't eat wild game, and then I eat it all the time.
Right.
It's different. It's different.
I get beat up for this too, because I guess, vegans can say whatever they want about hunters and it's good to go. I remember I put up one thing about a vegan. I can't remember what it was. It's like their diet, and it's like they went from this healthy person to looking pretty sickly.
Oh, there's a lot of those.
And it's kind of a meme joke thing, and I'm just like, oh no, actually, God. And I'm probably stepping in. I know you can't get canceled, but maybe I can. But I put up something about Canelo. Because I guess he went
he went vegan for his last fight.
And all I put up was, that worked well.
Yeah, I reposted it. I reposted it in my Instagram stories.
I got so much hate for that.
Yeah.
And it's like, we get crucified for being, killers and meat eaters and all this. I put up one joke meme about Canelo who looked awful compared to how and with the one thing that changed was his diet, and then all of a sudden I'm the bad guy. But anyway.
Well, there's two things going on there. One, Bivol is a real legit light heavyweight, and that's only the second light heavyweight that Canelo had fought. The first one was Kovalev, but Kovalev was at the end of his career. Mm-hmm. Kovalev had lost a bunch of times. He'd been stopped, and he wasn't the same guy as he was like when he fought Andre Ward the first time. Well, right. Kovalev, when he was the man, when he was a light heavyweight champion, was a real savage. Mm-hmm. And he was winning that fight with Canelo too, by the way. Mm. There's a reason why there's weight classes. And right. Canelo fought Floyd Mayweather. I believe he fought him at 152 pounds, which is the lightest he's ever fought. Mm. Generally, he would fight at 154, and then he moved up, fought middleweight, and that's where he fought Gennady. I think he fought Triple G. Gennady Golovkin, I think he fought him at 60, or it might have been super middleweight. Find out if that's. So then there's a jump, man, and I think it was 160. At Golovkin was the middleweight champion, and so that 15-pound jump is giant.
But so you want to go up in weight and quit eating meat?
Let's see what it says here. 60. Yeah, okay. So that was they fought twice. They were supposed to fight a third time, but it looks like he's going to have a rematch with Bivol instead.
But if you're going to go up.
Yeah. You don't, well, it's like he watched that documentary on Netflix, Game Changers, and there's a lot of, look, if you want to eat only vegan and you want to do it for ethical reasons and you don't want to be involved in animal death, I get it. You don't want to be involved in factory farming, I get it. Mm-hmm. But it's not true when you say that it gives you a significant athletic performance boost. It doesn't. Mm-hmm. There's no real proof of that. And they fucked with some reality when they made that. There's no real elite professional athletes at the highest level that I'm aware of that are vegan. I don't think it has the same bioavailability as animal protein. And this is coming from nutritionists that are unbiased and objective, not coming from guys like, the carnivore MD, Paul Saladino, guys who are proselytizing to eat carnivorously. This is just from regular scientists. They'll tell you you can get as much protein from X amount of broccoli as you can from a steak. The problem is it's not the same kind of protein. It's not as bioavailable.
And if surviving is one thing.
Right, thriving.
Performing or thriving is a whole nother thing. Yeah. You can eat a lot of shit and just get by and not die.
That's the real question.
But are you trying to be optimum performance at whatever you do?
I was a vegetarian for 6 months. Did I ever tell you that when I was fighting? Because I was having a really hard time making weight, and I was competing when I was 17. I won the state championship at 140 pounds, and the next weight class was 154. And I was struggling I couldn't really I wasn't 140. I was 153, 154, and I would dehydrate the shit out of myself, make the weight, and then I have to fight on the same day. It was not good, and I was fighting. I won, but I felt like shit. I was I could have fucked those guys up if I was, if I felt my best.
Strong, right.
And then I did it for a while to try to lean out, but I was just tired all the time. Yeah. And I know I probably wasn't doing it right, and I've never done it right, where, you eat pea protein and you make sure you balance your macros and have someone... But when I started eating meat, that's when I became at my best. When I went on my best performance run as a competitor, it was all eating meat, and that's mostly what I ate was meat.
Right.
Well, and I felt a lot different. And that was the only example that I've ever had, because it's the only stretch of my life when I was competing, a very intense thing, and I did I ate nothing but vegetables
Right.
for like a good 6 months.
6 months. That's a long time.
It was a long time. I tried as long because I had my instructor was very tall, and we were from the same weight class. You know, it might 140, it might have been 147, whatever it was. I forget what the weight class was, but it was in the 40s. And then he was like 6'3", 6'2", 6'3". And he was in the same weight class as me when he was younger and was competing. So I was like brainwashed to think like I'm too short for this fucking weight class. I got to starve myself.
Yeah.
But it's just body types.
And then did you see Usman at the last fight with his red leather jacket, no shirt? It's like baller. Frick.
Well, he's like, you know, that if you want to make some noise and get some attention.
That's how you do it.
Well, he's trying to get that Canelo fight.
I know.
He wants that big money. And maybe Canelo will fight him
just keep
if
him on
the Bivol
salads.
fight.
Keep him on salads. He's got a pretty good shot.
Keep him on salads.
Yeah.
I wonder if he'll change his diet. Because they were actually talking about that in the broadcast. They were saying he seems a little lackadaisical, a little lackluster. I wonder if it's his diet.
I don't know.
Yeah, after the fight, they were talking about the diet. It's like, I don't know, you know?
I know.
It's like I never want to say that it won't work for you. Because there's people out there that I know that are vegan that thrive. And they don't have any problem with it. But I don't know how they would do if they ate meat. I mean, maybe they're just fucking unbelievably savage, and if they ate meat, they'd be even better. But if you give them vegetables, they'll still kill it.
His quote on it says that sometimes he eats meat still.
Oh, I'm not very complicated when it comes to food. I adapt a lot. I adapt quickly. Canelo told ESPN, it's not something I did all of a sudden, that I left what I ate before from one day to the next. All week, I try to eat what is vegan, and if one day I eat something else, meat, chicken, whatever, I eat it. There is no problem.
Yeah, I don't know what that means, really, but that's what he said in response.
But that's not, if you are an athlete that is eating for performance. Like, say if you went to...
See, that's the opposite of me.
Yeah, if you went to
I eat meat all
Mike
the
Dolce or, George Lockhart or one of those guys, that is not how they would tell you to eat. They would prescribe a specific amount of protein, specific amount of carbohydrates based on your weight.
Right.
I mean, they're not saying, like, sometimes I eat this and sometimes I eat that. I think what's going on is Canelo is so fucking good that he can get away with eating squash and tomatoes and still fuck you up because he's so goddamn good.
He's been amazing.
He's amazing. And just the fact that he went all the way up to 75, fought Bivol, went to the decision, you know, lost the decision, but was never in, like, real trouble.
Yeah.
Was never, like, rocked or dropped or anything like that. And he's fighting 2 weight classes above his natural weight class. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, it is. He's an amazing fighter.
He's amazing. He's one of the greatest of all time, which is why he's willing to take that chance and go up to 175 pounds. But in my mind, if you're an athlete, especially if you're in a combat sport, you need to have everything dialed in. Your recovery. You need to be doing the sauna every day, ice bath. You need to be eating all the right food, drinking all the right water. They should hydration test you every day. You got hundreds of millions of dollars on the line. That's Canelo Alvarez.
I know.
He shouldn't be eating fucking plants. What the fuck are you doing, bro? You're eating celery? We got to get a steak in you.
Yeah, well, that's what I was saying is like his approach where he'll eat, greens and salads most of the time and every once in a while have meat. I do all meat and every once in a while have a salad.
When Mike Tyson was in here, he was thanking me for turning him on to wild game.
Really?
Yes.
He's been getting wild game?
Yes.
I
offered to get him some elk, but I never got it to him. We never connected after that.
Okay.
But he went to somewhere and got a lot of bison. He got he was eating a lot of bison before he started training again. He's like, oh my God, it made such a difference. He thanked me during the last podcast for turning on because I'm always talking about wild game. Yeah. And he's like, it made a big difference. That's what I eat now is wild game. So if Mike Tyson says that, I'd fucking listen.